So you're probably wondering, why am I showing this first generation CRV RD1 2-liter 4-speed automatic on 15x6 rims with my roof rack on top with the ski attachment. Look at it, look at the zoom. Yes, look at the plant behind there. Well, the reason is, this is my daily. You may have seen it in my other videos in the background. But I've decided to start modding it. But don't worry, the MX-5 is still there, still chilling in a new spot. Taking a break from modding it. I do have parts coming in, so that will be in a future video. But today, we're focusing on the CRV. The CRV is totally standard. He's even got the normal airbox, the cracked black rocker cover paint. Everything is, as far as I'm aware, not been touched. I bought this car maybe a couple months ago and have been driving it heaps. Basically when the MX-5 has been in pieces, or when I'm doing other videos on the MX-5, I'm taking the CRV around. One thing I did have to change was this front left tire. This was the actual spare that came with the car when I bought it. I can show you the spare, the tire that was on the front left. Well, look at that. And this is the outside too, so it had major positive camber. And it's really close to that. So, as I was doing left turns, because the wheel was on that side, doing left turns, my car was understeering and going hectic around right-hand corner. So, I just swapped this guy from here, there to there, and it's going to be short-lived because nope, it's locked. Because, wait for it. What are those? What are those? What are these? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, and another box. 2 boxes over there. What are these? What are those? So if you haven't guessed already, I've got new rims and massive spacers. I believe they're 40 mils. I'm pretty sure they're 40 mils to go on the rear. 215 75/15 mud terrain tires for the 15x8 steely rims. Now I only have 4 of the rims because I wanted to try them out first before getting the spare. Because yeah, I've got mismatched tires on all 4 corners. These are stock rims and they look kind of lame. And also, the first generation CRV has a bad case of rear end sag. So to demonstrate that, this guy, let's put my hand in. About 4 fingers. 4 plus 2. So that's 6 finger gap. Whereas the rear, yeah, it's like maybe 3.5, 4 fingers. And that happens with all first generation CRVs. So I plan to alleviate that with the 2 spacers. So 2 40 mil spacers to raise it up. Because what, it was 4 finger, 6, 4, 2, and 4. So if we do quick maths, we can find out how much of a difference that will be. So let's get my ruler. That's my sister. Alright, so we got 4 fingers, which is
2 is 4, minus 1, that's 3.
70 mil plus 2 finger, which is 30. So 4 plus 2 is 10 centimeters. And if I get the 40 mil spaces on, means the difference between 10 and 7, which is 30, the rear should be 10 mils higher than the front, which is the look I am going for with the pretend to off-road CRV. Some of the things I plan to do on it is lift springs as well, and spoiler, they are coming in about a week's time. Maybe take off my ski racks, snowboard racks, and put a fabricated, make my own roof rack box thing, half cage, roof cage, as well as taking the bumper off, because as you can see there's a bit of, yep, taking that off, making a bull bar for the rear, and if I can, do the same thing with the front. There are my keys. Do the same thing with the front. Either let's see how the rear one goes, but the front one looks pretty cool. I do like some LED pods and all that sort of thing. Massive light bar on the top, you know, the whole 9 yards. It drives well. It gets around 10 liters per 100 kilometers, which is what it said it would do online, so hasn't really lost much efficiency. But with the steel rims and the larger tires, I expect that to go up higher, which means it uses more fuel, but it's the look I'm going for, because look how much space there is. But yeah, anyways, this is my CRV, and hopefully you'll see it around with the MX-5. And once again, the MX-5 is not going anywhere, it's just sitting there. I do have parts coming in for it, but since it's winter time here in New Zealand, it's quite nice driving a automatic with AC, with part of the time 4-wheel drive. So awesome. Just to see how the rims will fit, the center bore of this is 84 mils, and the center bore of the Honda CRV is 64.1 mils. So I've 3D printed myself 3 hub-centric spacers rings for the new rims. I'm just going to see how they fit. I only got 3 because I didn't have time to print a 4th one. So we're going to take this wheel off, jack it up from the front pinch weld, which is there. Yep. So get the jack in there, put jack stands on either side, and then see how they look with the new rims. It's not high enough. The jack is a little bit too short for the CRV. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop some of that into smaller pieces and then use that as a spacer, as a lift thing for the jack. So we're lifting the jack for the not lifted CRV. Used the saw, created 2 levels of this random piece of wood that I had lying around at home. There is 2 pieces here, but it doesn't matter as long as it lifts the jack. So if I measured it to be 70 mils, not 70, 700, so the jack has room to move forward when you jack it up. So when you move it forward, jack it up, it will roll, and it'll be enough space there. Not enough, mate. This could be a little bit of a problem. It's still not high enough to lift this guy up. Alright, so what I'm going to plan to do is, I've already loosened the lug nuts on here, so I might just use the jack on the pinch weld over here, just so that I can take the wheel off and see if my wheel spaces fit with the new rims. Once again, it's not advisable to use just the jack stands to support the car, but because I'm only doing this temporarily, I feel like it's okay. So proceed with caution, always use your jack stand when you can. Managed to get one rim on. Hopefully you can see that in the sunlight. But a couple things I found with the 3D printed spacer is that with the program, it comes with like a little brim that prints out on the 3D print so that it doesn't move on the bed. I'm gonna have to reduce that because that was interfering with the inside of the wheel. as well as the inner diameter, which is the 64. I found that the print was a little bit too tight, so this guy wasn't going straight onto the hub, so I'll need to make that a little bit bigger. And on the flip side, the outside diameter of 84 for the new rim was too small, so it's still moving in the rim, so I need to increase the outside diameter and decrease the inside diameter. So what I mean about that brim is that you kind of see the difference there. I had to take off that outer bit there. So yeah, not a complete fail. Got the rim on. Oh, another thing too is that it fouls on the caliper there, so it will, yeah, it can't move because it's hitting the caliper. So I'll probably need to get some spacers to put on, maybe 5mm spacers, just to push it out and make sure they're hub centric too. So fail, but not so fail.